Okay, so there's people asking about the pyramid of musical greatness and about Dr. Strong's musical stoplight. And so, just because I'm lazy and don't feel like writing it out over and over again, I'm going to put it here just for my music ed with Missy peeps. This is just for you guys. But and this is straight out of my First Steps in Music certification course. Um, so I thought this might be a better way of doing it. So, of course, many of you know Fire Robin's golden rule, which is about always singing for the class, never singing with the class. And of course, this can be very difficult, especially if you're starting in kindergarten with first steps or even preschool. So I'll tell you a little bit about how I go through it, and that will inform you about the pyramid of musical greatness as well. So these are just some of the reasons that we talk about the importance of never singing with the kids when you're giving instruction, but singing for them. And since I have you here, did you know that the 4x4 does not strictly apply to the preschool and beyond years in the Green Book? It was originally intended for the infant and toddler book, and when we get to the first steps in music, preschool and beyond years, what we're really looking at is using the whole song approach, in which you might be ready to have those kids sing in the second lesson after they've heard the new song another four times besides the first lesson. But that's a whole different part of the presentation. But I wanted to mention it. Okay, so we have the musical stoplight. So the bottom line of the musical stoplight is I personally use it just laminated, and it's on some Velcro right over there on the wall, and I rip it off and put it on all the time. And in the beginning of the year, it's basically always on my music stand. But as the kids get better and better at it, I can just put it up on the wall and point to it. So musical stoplight is in essence this. The red light means it's Dr. Strong's turn to make music, or the teacher's turn. Um, and the students are not just silent, but they're focused listeners. And we'll talk about that in a second. And then we have your turn. This means it's the student's turn to make music out loud. And I'm in the red light. And the middle is yellow. We sing together in community. That doesn't happen a whole lot during instruction, but of course it happens at assemblies, at concerts, that kind of thing. So here is Dr. Strong's pyramid of musical greatness. You can get it either by being a Fame member, you can get it for free, or you can go to Britain Music on Teacher Pay Teacher, which teachers pay teachers, whatever it is. Teacher, somebody's paying somebody, and everybody's a teacher. But I would really encourage you to go to Adam's store. This is Adam Britton. He designed this for me. We worked together very closely for at least a year when we finally got this idea. And what's kind of funny is in the next, I don't know, a few weeks, uh, there's going to be just an edit to it. Now, let me tell you, I love the things that are here, but as many of you know, I'm going through a lot of things, and I'm going to take out some of what I feel might be a bit redundant or even not as necessary as some of the things I want to put in, which you'll see soon. But I have to talk to Adam, but I'm hoping he can keep this version and the other version. I don't know how that works. So, this is the pyramid of musical greatness. The truth is, I literally stole it from one of my favorite shows, Parks and Rec, Ron Swanson, and the Ron Swanson Pyramid of Musical Greatness. Oh, I mean, Pyramid of Greatness, excuse me. In a show, it's funny, it's tongue in cheek. One day I was talking to the kids years ago, and I was trying to say, what is the end goal for what we're doing in music class? Because I think you think that only fun is important. And so, I want to be careful because I'm not saying fun is not important and I don't care about fun. Not at all. What I was saying was the most important thing to me in my goals for the music class are encompassed in being musical. And all these things that you see here in this pyramid, I mean, I didn't say this then because I was just making it up, um, fall under the heading of being musical. So in that class years ago, I was just saying, it's like we're trying to get to the top of this pyramid together, helping ourselves and helping each other have the best experience we can in music class. And so I was saying, it's like a pyramid of musical greatness because I had just seen the show. And for some reason, the kids really glommed onto that and loved it. And they were like, yeah, the pyramid of musical greatness. And so we just started saying it. But really, at that point, the only thing I knew was that it said be musical at the top. And so as I taught about it, people would ask, oh, where can I get your pyramid of musical greatness? And I would laugh because I had no pyramid of musical greatness. And to be quite honest, I knew it would be an endeavor. So I was kind of like, I don't know. You know, it's not like this thing where you have to go from one level to another level. I didn't know what I was talking about. So over the years, I decided to start going for it. And so I just started writing out things that to me encompass a person who's trying to be musical. So, of course, I thought about being respectful, having fun, and as a fire up and friendly practitioner, being tuneful, beautiful, and artful. So that kind of became the first level. And then over time, I started learning about these things called habits of mind, which I kind of liked, one of the few district initiatives that I really liked. And I started putting things in there. And then I started thinking about um, Western notation, to be honest, at the time. And, you know, not everybody, even then, I didn't think everybody had to do Western notation, but it was kind of like, if you're going to do notation, I want you to be able to hear what you see. Um, and then I wanted you to think tunefully, right? And then there were things that were important, like I want to make music for myself. I want to make music for other people. And I want to make music in community with other people. And then I want to support musicians and go to concerts. I want to be a risk taker. I want to try to get things right, but learn from my mistakes. So all these things were coming to me. And then Adam and I were just going back and forth. Anyway, all that to say, um, what comes out is this pyramid. And like I said, it's not like, okay, everybody starts at level one. Okay, now we're moving to level two. At some juncture, I'm jumping all over the place with this. I would say in kindergarten and first grade, we're definitely looking at the first two levels as a focus. And then, like I said, there will be new things that I'm putting on here. But the bottom line of this pyramid, and I just used it today on our last Star Wars day, I was giving them, we call them boom sabers. And I was saying, you know, I'm giving you these boom sabers not because I need them to teach you about movement and beat and reading and decoding patterns, but because I want it to be more fun for you. But what's the end goal in class? And they all said, be musical. Now, can you have fun when you're being musical? Absolutely. But now we have this phrase that has changed a little bit, and we say in music class, we have fun, but we do not cross the line. And so we talk about the pyramid. So with the pyramid, everyone, you know, we're trying to be musical. So, for example, I can't take this boom saber, which is a boom whacker, and like hit it against my friend because is that helping me or my friend to be more musical? No. So if I see things happening that aren't really helping you or others be to be musical, I might have to stop the activity or take that away for just a little while until you can kind of reframe your thinking and understand that while I want you to have fun, being musical is my ultimate goal. So that works really well in every activity I do. If it's folk dancing, I say, you know, right now we can't talk a lot because we're not musical enough to handle talking and trying to do the dance. So since we're trying to be musical, for right now, let's limit the talking. And then when we get really good and we're showing our musicality, maybe we'll be good enough to talk. So anyway, that's the thing with the pyramid of musical greatness. It's just a way for me to say there are all these things happening when you are becoming more and more musical, but also to remind yourselves that this is a place where being musical is the pinnacle. And in that pinnacle are a lot of things. It encompasses a lot of things. I don't mean being musical because you can read notation. I mean, I am tuneful, beautiful, and artful. I am respectful of other people. I am open to learning about other kinds of music, all that kind of thing. So then, the way I use that in kindergarten is I talk about being a focused listener. And so, by the way, if you don't want to know more about this, that's the end of my uh, whatchamacallit. What do you call this thing? Pyramid of Musical Greatness talk. So in kindergarten, which is my first year with the students, we start talking about how being musical, and that's really the only thing they're hearing for a while, starts with understanding what a focused listener looks like. So we make this sign, right? So a focused listener isn't just silent because, two friends can be silent and listening to another friend, but not really listening to them. So they're not working. So I say sometimes we have to not only be silent, but working in our musical brain. So I show what that looks like. Later, when it comes to the stoplight, I start kind of morphing my language. So I say, a focused listener is in red light, right? So right now, I need you guys to be in red light. That doesn't mean I'm telling you, okay, everybody be quiet. What I'm saying is sometimes when we're being musical, we're being quiet so we can hear something that we're going to need to make music out loud later. So I say, we just call that red light. As a matter of fact, today with third grade, we were doing some patterns back and forth decoding. When I started to do a pattern, somebody started playing, and one of the kids said, I think we're supposed to be in red light. This is third grade when I don't usually use that terminology anymore. So I love when the big kids, kind of get that learning and bring it out. So this turns into that red light and green light kind of talking. And then I'll start to say, okay, guys, you are focused listening in the red light. And that will change into you're in the red light. And they know right away what that means and what's happening. And then people ask, like, how do you get them to do it? And I'll say, well, we just basically we do it over and over again. So if I'm just pretending right now, if I'm saying, this is my talking voice, and I'm pointing to the red light, and then I point to the green light for their part, this is my talking voice. I use it, and if a kid starts saying something, I'll say, oops, don't forget, everyone, show me what a focused listener looks like. Okay, so you're in the red light. Should I hear anything outside of your musical brain? Nope. Okay, this is, I heard somebody again. So who can tell me what a focused listener looks like? Okay, if a focused listener is doing their job, should I hear anything? Should I hear, no, nothing. All the work is going on in your brain. I'm in the red light. And then guess what? It's going to be your turn to be in the green light. So that's the kind of thing I say to them. And then this is just kind of a funny thing that I will never forget from years ago, where I don't know how well you'll be able to hear it, but this is a kid doing a seesaw activity where I just put this on there for fun because I was curious to see what they would say about the stoplight. Oh, yeah, here we go.
The red light in the musical is for when it's not for it's when Dr. Strong says it's the red light, that means it's called to signal. And then when she says we're in the green light, that means we could sing. And then when we're in the yellow light, we all can sing.
So I hope that helps. Sorry this was so long, but maybe I won't have to say it as much, which is nice. And then you can just come here and I'll post it, and I hope it helps. And you can go ahead and, riff on this idea and make up your own ideas. Thanks, everyone.